Yo, what up? What's poppin'? Back at it again with another video for y'all, and I was just wanting to chat with y'all because it's just with the way the world is right now. People. It's just in this day and age. It's like people are like going through it and they really need help, and I was just wanting to share something with y'all because as an individual, people be trying to judge you and say that with the way that you think about stuff and with the way you react to stuff and with the way you are, it's not right. You shouldn't be like this, but that's just who you are. You see people out here going through it, and you see senior citizens out here still working a 9 to 5 job that they don't even love when you know that they should be able to enjoy retirement. You know that the US economy is messed up, and you know that living in corporate America, they just want us to accept everything for what it is. But anyway, I was just wanting to let y'all know something. Be willing to think for yourself. Critical thinking is definitely a key factor, especially in this day and age. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen at all. If somebody is trying to give you some advice, if somebody is trying to give you some tips, like you around somebody that's like-minded, that's giving you the advice, that's giving you the tips of where you're trying to go at in your life, yeah, listen to them, take notes, but also too, ask questions and be willing to think for yourself. You don't have to get into no debates. Debating is not really worth the time and it's not really worth the energy, but at the same time, for people that's telling you different stuff and they're not trying to go where you're trying to go, it's not really worth it to really take all of their advice because they're not trying to give you the tips on where you're trying to go. You're somebody that wants to be rich, you want to be successful, you want to be wealthy, you want to be able to retire your parents. Like, yeah, see, that's the thing. You use your critical thinking skills because critical thinking is definitely a key factor in this day and age. With the way things are going right now, you can't really like afford to just accept everything for what it is. When you just accept everything for what it is, when you just become satisfied with how your life is, when you just accept life for what it is, yeah, you're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be miserable. You're gonna be stressed out. You're gonna be anxious. You got people out here that be having to take multiple medications for their anxiety just because of the fact that they just dealing with a lot of stress. They're not even really taking the time out to put in work towards something that they really want to do. But yeah, use your critical thinking skills. Yeah, you use your critical thinking skills. Like, your brain is like one of the most powerful tools that God gave you. Our brains is like very powerful. Our brains is like the most powerful tool that God gave all of us. And God gave you a gift. See, they say that a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but is a gift is also a terrible thing to waste too. You should never give up on your gift. When you stay focused on your gift, it's a way where you can create your own reality. You no longer have to wake up day after day to clock into a 9 to 5 job that you don't even love, because it seems like in this day and age, it seems like the job market is definitely in a serious crisis right now. It seems like in this day and age, the job market is really suffering, but critical thinking is definitely a key factor. Be willing to think for yourself. Instead of just accepting everything for what it is, be willing to think for yourself. Because, like, it's like the stuff that we were told when we were youngsters. Now that we're adults, sometimes it kind of just feels like we were lied to about some stuff. Now, I'm not saying that we were lied to about exactly everything, but we was lied to about, I would say, like a decent amount of stuff. Because just like when it comes down to the school system, we learning all of that information, and it's like a lot of that information that we're being taught, we're not even gonna use it. But you see, the teacher, Yeah, like in geometry class and in algebra, the teacher is gonna be like, you need to pay very close attention to this because if you don't, you can get completely lost, which is true, which is factual. Algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus. Yeah, if you don't pay very close attention, you can get completely lost and you can end up struggling. But at the same time, it's not like that's the type of math that you're gonna use in your everyday life unless you want to be an engineer. Yeah, because I mean, I don't use geometry, neither do I use algebra. I don't process that math into my brain on a daily basis. As long as you know basic math, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, as long as you know about percentages, fractions, as long as you know how to count your money, you're gonna be perfectly fine. But yeah, be willing to think for yourself. Use your critical thinking skills. I just wanted to share this video with y'all, chat with y'all. Just wanted to give the people out there some advice and some encouragement. Just, yeah, a little bit more motivation. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on my channel, comment, share, like the video. And again, my new song, Bony Fish Freestyle, it's on my YouTube channel and it's also on my SoundCloud. Y'all can follow me on SoundCloud at Wally G. Let's run it up. Let's blow it up. Love y'all.